All right. I fixed it. I changed a few settings in OBS, so hopefully that won't happen again. All right. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Volume. Testing, testing. Okay. I can turn it up a little bit. Noise removal. Like 10. Okay, cool. Okay. Well, I've been wanting to play some Swarm. Been pretty fun. Excuse me. At some point, I'd like to get back into Ghost of Tsushima. I also want to play TFT. I've got plenty of games, and who knows, maybe MJ will want to play a game. Maybe, she says. I'll be right back.
everything. Here goes everything. Here I am! Take cover. Here goes everything.
Why so tense? Relax. Why so tense? Relax.
I am in control. No one escapes my bow.
My joy endures.
Why so tense? Relax.
Yo, what's up, my guy? Been a minute. I'm kidding. I was literally live yesterday. Oh boy. I think I'm dead here. It's a valiant effort. But I've been theory crafting a certain comp I think I want to run. I think this is a decent level 8 comp that requires 3 fucking legendaries. It's alright. That was only a Norm's game. What you been up to, bro? Do you have any questions that you would like to ask ChatGPT? Or are you interested in watching me play like Ghost of Tsushima or Sekiro? You're walking right now? Or are you just like taking a walk? Just trying to be healthy? You'll still come back? Like you'll tune in after you're done walking?
There's nothing we can't do together. The magic is within you.
Let's go.
Time out. Gotta sharpen my lens.
Too easy. Don't worry. I got this.
The magic is within you.
Imagine if I had a real weapon.
Got a good start for Fairy. Oh. Okay. So, something that, yo, what's up? I was just gonna give some advice for kind of like determining early game strength for this game, but since we have a new chatter, I'd like to ask kind of how you found my channel, what you're interested in. Like EIDO content is mainly what I make, and shorts and stuff. Or if you're interested in TFT. But Eamon, I was thinking I could probably talk more about how to like get better at TFT, because I want to get better at TFT and I want to play ranked. And I think just like giving advice on stream will help remind me the basics and stuff. Suggested videos just got recommended. Interesting. TF2, like Team Fortress 2? I actually have never played Team Fortress 2. I have a list of games that I'm interested in playing today. Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro, anything on the Riot client, even Valorant. I'll play Valorant. What's so funny?
Real play Valorant.
I love Valorant. Valorant is very fun. It's just been a long time, and
The
I
way
would.
you said it, you're like, I'll even play Valorant.
I will. I'll even play it. Yeah, I just haven't played it in a while, so I'll have to aim train for a minute and like just warm up, just so that I feel good enough to actually, whatever. I thought I cleaned it all up. Did I miss? I didn't see that. Thank you. Oy. I need to position to make sure that I win. All right. Well, I have a very good early game going for Katarina. Pretty much perfect items. Oof. I didn't have warrior enabled. That was probably my mistake. I should have secured that last round. Because now my streak is gone. I didn't do enough.
Wait, I hit you.
What were you looking for?
I'm thinking of switching comps. Like I could play Fairy. I'm not getting the, well, I'm getting okay items, but I'm not getting like the best items. I'm trying to cook a bigger comp that I'll try to shoot for most of my games. That looks something like this. So this is a completely different comp than what I'm running right now. I'm trying to find like a very high cap composition to be able to try to run every game after games like this where I'm like win streaking really hard and I'm preserving HP. Guess it's just Warwick now. If Warwick stacks really hard, then you can go this comp as well. Ooh, Blossom Lotus. Fairy Crest. I don't have... If I thought that I would be more... If I thought I had a better shot at grabbing...
This look like magic.
What's the word? A spatula to be able to get Fairy 9, then I'd go for it. But I think, yeah, I can just go probably this comp. Are you guys still there? She playing with the strings again.
Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like banana. I am only
This is
a
kind of nuts,
child of
actually,
magic.
that I hit the Rakan this early. was gonna say, how the hell had nobody taken that Nami yet? Like, what? I think this is just a reset. Like, I don't think Fairy's strong enough. I think I'd have to pivot to this other comp.
Wanna see the fireworks?
Stop it.
I was on a win streak. And then I went pretty much loss streak. Yeah, it's unfortunate that this comp isn't stronger than it is. Like, and the fact that I already hit Emilio, like, what do you want from me? I guess they want me to go Fairy. Yo, what's up, Eamon? So, I asked you some questions, but I think you left. Which I think I understand what you mean by you'll come back. Given the games from this list, are you interested in seeing me play any of them? Valorant, Normal League, Swarm, that game I was playing yesterday that you came and saw for a second. More TFT. Did I do a haircut? Did I get a haircut? No. I can do my hair a myriad of ways though, so. Yeah. I and ended up actually doing my hair this morning somewhat. I think that it's pretty alright. You like Valorant too? Oh yeah, dude. Do you play Valorant? Or do you just like watching it? Yes, I assume you mean you play it then. Cool. I haven't played in a long time, so if I were to play Valorant, you're bronze. I think I hit plat when I was playing. I think I was plat something. I'd have to aim train again to make sure that I'm not like dog shit if I were to play. Am I interested in football? Okay, yeah, by the way you spell it, it's definitely like football, the normal football that everyone in the world calls it, rather than American football. I played American football. I'm not a huge fan of American soccer. Watching it. I really like the anime Blue Lock. Blue Lock is an amazing football anime, and if you haven't seen that, I'll show you like a clip from it and you'll watch it for sure. It's really good. I'm not really interested as much in watching real life soccer though. I'd rather just watch Blue Lock over and over. I've already seen it twice through, just the first season. And the second season's coming out later this year. You hate football? Why do you hate playing or watching it? I used to hate the football players, the soccer players, I guess. I'm gonna use American lingo because that's how I just think of things. I hated soccer. I hated the soccer players, and then I watched Blue Lock, and I was like, this is one of the best like anime ever. It doesn't make me like the sport. It's just that the anime is so fucking good. That's what matters.
I am only as wild as magic.
Nice. And we got our Callista. Cool. Now we just need a level once more. Oh, okay, cool. Do you want me to convince him to watch Blue Lock, or has he already seen it? I'm gonna invite his friend who really likes football.
I can't wait.
You know the concept of Blue Lock? You mean the plot? The plot of Blue Lock?
Against any weapon, any
Don't really
army,
need
any
to
war,
really,
I remain unmatched.
You played Multi-Striker? It's very powerful. Yeah, I think so too. It's pretty good. I did Multi-Striker on Emilio so that he could cast, and I threw Rage Blade on him. I think I'm gonna throw Rage Blade on Callista, because she's stronger anyway. In one game you went AFK. You lost 60 pounds? That's funny. I think you meant 60 LP. Not LB, because LB means pounds in America. Do I know the anger issue argument? That's a very funny way to put it. I think what you mean is, do I have thoughts on like gamer rage and like people's temperament and where it comes from? Yeah, let's try that other comp. Because Fairy did not work. Fairy is just too weak. I've tried to make it work so many times, doing like best in slot things that I possibly can, and just nothing. Like you can't even fast 9 it. Like I went fast 9, I had everything in. I had a fully stacked team with Biss. Oh. Oh, anger issues. The augment. You said argument. It's an augment. Yes, I have played anger issues. That's it's a pretty fun one. You're using an R for the word argument. Let me show you how it's spelled. You you don't need the R, if that makes sense. Just augment. You think Fairy is very bad, but Katarina is a little good? Yeah, if you get Katarina 3, like, she can do some fucking damage. But she just doesn't do enough. Like, I really want to play Fairy, but it just doesn't fucking work. This comp, however, that I'm building, be pretty good.
Time out. Gotta sharpen my lance.
Yeah, with Ionic, yeah, she's pretty good with Ionic. Zoe could be an item holder for Ari.
Any weapon, any army,
Bastion or Shapeshifter. And carry at the back is good. Yeah, you definitely need that front line. Category 5. Category 5 works really well with Warwick. One of his best augments. Yeah, I'm going for it. Yeah, definitely. Category 5. And then probably like Titans and then Rageblade for Warwick. He can be my early game carry. He did okay, but he needs to be 2-star. Okay, well, there you go. And then Chrono. Vex will be better of a tank. Yeah, I think this is gonna be like a composition I go for. They're so beautiful. Goddamn. And I'll go Frost. I'm trying to go this comp. So by using Warwick in the early game, I can start stacking. Frost. Frost. So like rather than Ari, I could have Warwick.
Sub.
Anger Issues is a prismatic augment. When you choose it, all of your items, including future items, are transformed into Rageblade. Yes, I am fully aware. I have played Anger Issues with Warwick before. Like triple Anger Issues Warwick and Olaf. And it was pretty decent. So, pretty sure it's I'm pretty sure every game I play now is live streamed. So, I'm sure that game is on a live stream. Except for the ones I play on my phone. But I'm trying to play more on the computer so that I can have everything recorded. You played today with Callista? Nice. I like Callista a lot. I just wish she was stronger. She's just not competitive against 20.0 attack speed. Yeah. Her base damage though is so low that it doesn't even matter. Like you have to have Deathblade. If you don't play Callista with Deathblade, she's just useless. It's so sad.
No one escapes my bow.
No shot that just happened to me. That is so funny. I mean, I guess I can play Ashe. I didn't think it would be the Warwick. Yeah, I guess it's not the Warwick this game. It'd be Olaf, I guess. Olaf can item hold. Instead of Bard, we could have a Hunter. Like, Kog'Maw. 'Cause Kog'Maw gives attack speed to his allies.
There's beauty in even the smallest moments.
Loser Callista, yeah, super weak. Do I know Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah, I think everybody knows about Dungeons and Dragons. I played in 2 different campaigns. Neither of them finished fully. But I know what it's like to play D&D, yeah.
Imagine if I had a real weapon.
As you wish.
My DM? No, I was just a player. D&D can be fun, but it's not as fun as I think it should be sometimes.
You're lucky.
I'll put it that way.
Being a ghost is so cool.
Have I played Baldur's Gate? I haven't, because I know that the moment I open up that game, I won't do anything else. So I'm not going to open it. It's very bad you go to sleep when I just start. Well, you're on the other side of the world, my dude. So it's understandable. The time difference is bad, yeah. Well, at least there's like VODs and stuff. I don't really talk when nobody's in chat. Which is unfortunate. Row rejuvenation. Probably just Silver Veil here.
This place is so getting harrowed.
Actually, just. Necrom might not be bad. Eleven 14. Well, it's understandable that you have to go to bed. I'm glad that you pop in stream so often. It's pretty fun. Makes me feel good because I get to practice. 'Cause I'd like to be a bigger streamer. So. I just need to develop my skills for being a streamer. So, you chatting helps me a lot. Do I know the fortune favors the bold augment? Yes. It was fun. I tried it once. It's just fortune. So. Yeah, we'll have Hecarim be the carry for now. You're still standing than you ever did. Good song. I Will Stay. I don't recognize that song. Okay. There's a song like that. I don't recognize it.
There's beauty in even the smallest moments.
Song's name is I'm Still Standing. What kind of genre of music is it? It's just a song. Okay, well, that doesn't really help. Because for me, I have like certain genres that I have to be in the mood for to listen to. Do you recognize that?
Yeah.
I think the type is like hype. You mean it's like optimistic? Just like one of those like I don't know. I just imagine like a girl just like singing. That's it. Have you heard of this song before? Okay. Good, she knows what it is.
Who is Jonna?
What is genre? Genre is spelled like this. Genre means the type of music. So like I like heavy metal, I like rock, I like heavy electronic metal, like tech type of music. This will be copyright, you can't play that. You can't even play that much. I'm sorry. You heard it like genre? Is that a word from like Turkish or something? I think Clockwork Accelerator will help a lot.
Magic's fine. Steel's better.
No genre is nothing. Okay. What is that emote, Lamau? a meditation person here. Yeah. Like this. Meditation.
Any army, anyone. I remain unmatched.
Looks like they're doing yoga, which involves meditation most of the time. I'm going in the future. I'm going on vacation soonish. Do you mean that, like, stream is delayed? I write it in chat, but not in live? That's because the stream has a delay. Because what is happening in real life for me, anything I type is going to send quicker than the video feed will play. You probably see a delay. So I can type something, like here I'll type the word hi, and now you'll see the word hi probably at a different time that makes sense with me going to go type it. Does that make sense? Why is it like 10 seconds? I think that's just because of my settings. I had to change to make sure that the stream actually worked. Hmm. Final. There we go. Now we're starting to win. I'm very good at multitasking. Yeah, it takes work. It takes time. It's not the quickest thing in the world. Can I defend myself with a Yido? Okay, this is actually a really good question that it's a talking point that I think most people who don't know what Yido is don't understand kind of like its purpose, and that's exactly why I made that long form video about it. Long term, lol. I made that video because I knew that plenty of people would think like, oh, you're practicing martial arts, well, you must be able to fight, right? Like, that's a very simple conclusion to draw. Iaido is not about self-defense. It's very unintuitive. Most of the benefits of Iaido, most of the reasons why someone practices Iaido are not the same. I mean, there's a couple similarities with other ones, but it's so niche. It's so different. It's not mainstream at all. You don't understand the video very well? Okay. Well, I think it would be a great opportunity for me to make some live stream Iaido content because I want some more chatters to come in and talk about Iaido with me. Because Iaido is awesome, and I would love to share my experience with it. So let's actually pull up my shorts real quick so that I can make this clip visually interesting as well. Give me a second. I'm going to use the restroom and then just kind of like think about what I want this segment to be about, because I think I can make like a short out of this to help market my live streams and my channel more. So give me a sec. Okay. Don't use hard words. Okay. I understand you speak a different language. I understand that you're still learning English. So here's the thing. I'm gonna try to like make this clip for my channel as well as I can. And then if you have questions or if there's any word that I said that you don't understand, go ahead and ask it, and that can give me more content as well to work with, and then I can edit this into a video, and that'll be really good content, I think. So, okay, let's go ahead and think about the concepts I want to display. Let's use Chat GPT real quick. And I'm also opening up my Discord. Wow, your favorite AI. Well, yeah, I would assume it's like most people's favorite AI. Like, on stream right now, and I want to create a clip of me talking about the purpose of Yido, mainly focusing on the idea that it is not a martial art to use as self-defense. Okay. So I like to use ChatGPT as inspiration. I have also told ChatGPT a lot about myself. It's come to learn my personality, my philosophy, my goals, and I've talked about Yido with it. And so it's helped me understand myself more. It's kind of like I use it as a means to like you are dumb, don't worry about it, dude. Everyone's dumb. And everybody has to learn at some point. Everybody starts off dumb. So you just gotta climb from here. You just gotta keep learning. That's your only option. It doesn't matter whether you're smart. I think that people don't understand what smart really is. They think they have an idea, but those who are actually smart, like actually know, like there's a difference. They don't need to convince them that they're smart. They don't need to convince other people that they are. They just, in the way that they just are smart. And so if you just don't feel very smart, that doesn't mean that you're always going to be dumb. All that it means is like you just need to take more time to study. Just study anything. just study something. Get good at learning. Playing TFT is literally that. You're getting good at learning something. Game strategies, math equations, learning anything is always good. Just learn and actually chase that inspiration to learn about anything. You like the EIDO, but you don't have any opportunities? Yeah, EIDO is very niche. Not very many dojos actually have the ability to exist. Mainly just because there's not a lot of practitioners who are willing to like hold a dojo, you know? It's I wouldn't say it's dying, but it's small. And the growth, I'm not sure. Let's actually ask ChatGPT. Are the amount of practitioners for EIDO increasing or decreasing? Searched for sites. The number of EIDO practitioners seems to be holding steady, with interest and participation varying by region. There are initiatives to promote and support EIDO, such as international seminars and events organized by various federations or dojos, which I have been to a event with a Japanese sensei that was 10th Dan, and another Japanese sensei under him that was 8th Dan. They were pretty cool. Such as the international seminars and events. For example, the Canadian Kendo Federation regularly hosts international seminars and examinations. Yeah, I don't really care much about Kendo. I don't do Kendo. I think it's cool and it's one of the ones I would do, but yeah. Additionally, the Netherlands recently held its 4th International Women in EIDO seminar. Hell yeah. Overall, while exact numbers on the increase or decrease of practitioners is not readily available, the continued organization of events and seminars suggests a sustained interest. This reflects stable or potentially growing community. Especially with efforts to make the art more accessible and inclusive. Yeah, that's a whole other thing with EIDO, is EIDO has I am doing EIDO with the dojo. Yeah, that's pretty much the only way I would recommend doing it. Let me be clear. I don't think anyone ever should watch my videos and practice swinging a sword like this without having an actual sensei who teaches you in person that is an actual EIDOka from a reputable dojo. All right? Like, not somebody who, like, there's a difference between what it is I'm doing and teaching EIDO online. I'm not teaching people EIDO. Let's make that very clear. What I am teaching is my experience, which can be helpful as a lens or as a perspective. So other people can look at my EIDO and they can say like, oh, this can be like inspirational for me to apply these principles to anything. So even if you don't have access, like you don't in Turkey, to a dojo, these principles that I talk about that have to do with EIDO and how I apply them into my practice that shows with these shorts is something that you can apply to anything else. I think that's the thing that EIDO taught me most, is it's just like, really objectively, what EIDO is a vessel at which I use to improve myself in so many ways. On the surface level, obviously, like physical precision, just health overall, just the fact that you're moving your body and you're not sitting in a chair all the time. Because I love streaming and I would stream all the time. But Eido gives me a reason to get up and go do something. But you don't have to have Eido to do that. You can choose anything you want. You can have like just meditating and stretching. I love that. I literally had my yoga mat out earlier and I was doing a little bit of stretching, not a ton. My girlfriend was also stretching, and it was just nice to take a moment to focus inward in your mind while focusing on your body. I think that a lot of people need that. Is it relaxing? Yes. So I think strength training is exhausting because you're wearing out your energy levels, but just stretching or meditating and doing Eido isn't as exhausting as most other exercise. That's why it's something you can do for an hour straight and you still have energy to exist by the time class is over. At least that's the way that I view it. You were doing yoga, but recently you don't do it, I assume is what you meant. I think I'm just gonna not have chat on for this clip, just because the English isn't amazing. But that's okay. You don't need to be ashamed of it. I'm just trying to make the screen as pretty as possible. I think random text also popping up probably isn't necessary. Okay, make sure I have this tab muted. A lot of people ended up liking this one. That's why I used it for my my video. My hair was also silver when I had first dyed it too, so it's pretty good. My face is something I need to work on. What I didn't realize is that I make a face right here, making a face. Yeah. And I need to work on not having that face. It's hard because I feel like emotions and stuff. It's like also like emotion training too. Like I don't need to express that kind of like awkwardness. It shows that I'm not like fully confident. Does that make sense? And so for this Waza, I'm much more confident, so I don't make a face. I have so much more practice. Like, if you know what you're looking for when you're watching my Wazas, you can tell that there's tons of precision and confidence. Should I be feeling emotions? Yeah, like you can't stop yourself from feeling emotions. Does that make sense? Your emotions will always come to, they will come at any point. Your brain is always assessing stimulus in your senses. You can't stop that initial feeling of anger or frustration or like awkwardness, anything, any emotion, all of them under the sun. But what you can do, what you are capable of, is training yourself in the moments after. I'm gonna go grab my beanie. My hair is like not as good as I want it to be. Hold up. I have a cold face in the Eido training. Yeah, well, that's kind of the point. you're not exactly cheerful. You know? You're not exactly I think plenty of people have angry faces, which make a lot more sense in martial arts kind of at large. But actually go this way with my okay, there we go. That's better. You think anyone can talk about Iaido who is B1? What is B1? I'm not familiar with that terminology. So, okay. Let's go back. Let's circle back and answer kind of like why I started this this segment. Can Iaido be used for self-defense? Technically speaking, a person is physically able to use a sword, but practically speaking, especially socially speaking, it's not a good idea. It's just not. We live in an age with guns. Like, gun versus sword, gun wins every time. It's not a contest. You have to take in consideration what the context is, because something like swinging a sword doesn't fit in the context of the modern day in terms of like actual practical self-defense. You think you can prime yourself in a set of particular mental state to stop emotions from coming up? Yeah, so you can kind of numb yourself. So I've been depressed before, and I know what it's like to suppress emotions to where you're able to immediately feel the very seed of the emotion the moment that it starts building, and just toss it out the window. You can never stop it from building, but you can choose what to do once it's there. Does that make sense? I practiced a lot of stoicism in my later teen years before I started to become a little bit more optimistic, and then now I'm more of an existentialist. You can also work yourself up to increase emotions, yes. Absolutely. It's the same thing. And like you said, it's just you can give in and you can enrage and you can amplify emotions, but you can also suppress them. I think some people think I'm very serious. Yeah, I mean, if you're not like laughing and smiling or making jokes from time to time, a lot of people will just either find you boring or serious. So I understand that some people who have seen my channel don't really know me. That's why I'm streaming, is because I want people to take the time to actually get to know. But I need to make more clips and shorts and long form videos. That is what will be necessary to help like shift people's understanding of me to be more accurate. We live in a society, abso-fucking-lutely. And you can't carry a katana with you. Exactly. It's not practical to be carrying a katana around on your waist. Like, if anything, if you're going to defend yourself with a melee weapon, just use a baseball bat or a sturdy stick or metal pipe or a staff. A staff is way better. Like a walking stick that you could use for self-defense, way more practical, way more diverse, capable. A sword is very offensive. Does that make sense? Like the sword is used to like, yeah, exactly. These two things. Come bring them on the screen real quick.
Walking staff.
a walking staff, and a baseball bat. That will always be more practical than a sword.
But these will shatter a sword.
Yeah, or at least catch them. You can catch a blade. Sometimes it depends on like how sturdy something is or how thick it is. Like nobody's gonna cut through a baseball bat, I don't think. Like people have a hard time cutting through tatami mats. Like they're not gonna. The katana is very skinny. Okay. A spear, that is much more wartime. The spear is historically the most effective war battle weapon. Yeah, that's why a staff is like second place in my book. But something that like you can actually bring around with you in the modern day is like a walking stick. I guess it kind of would only pass if you're older. But as I was saying, the katana is a super offensive weapon. It's a blade. It's meant for hurting someone. And that's something that Iaido and Aikido have in common, is the philosophy that like when you're defending yourself, you don't want to be hurting the other person if you can help it. If you're able just to disarm and de-escalate, that's always better. It's what most police try to abide by when they're dealing with dangerous persons, and that's the same way that you should defend yourself. Do not resort to offense for defense. Defense is a separate concept on purpose. Something like a sword is a very offensive weapon. A machete is very effective at being an offensive weapon as well. I think the thing is like intention, okay? And the context around the situation. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? If we're talking about like a battle, like an anime battle, and we're looking at two people going full offensive, like who's gonna win, that's an absolutely dynamically polar opposite conversation from, hey, realistically, if you were out in the world, what would you be carrying on you into what situations that you can get into? A fucking walking stick is way better than most things if you don't own a firearm. But a firearm escalates shit much quicker. Someone pulls out a gun, stuff has hit the fan already. It's already threat level 100. I would say that a gun is also like, it's like even worse than a sword in the sense of like mentality behind being in a confrontation. To be clear, I have been in a lot of fights, physical fist-to-fist fights with a lot of kids. I was bullied as I was growing up. I had to defend myself. Not everyone was kind, and so I had to throw hands. It wasn't pretty, but I never really lost either. But that's because my mentality was never offense as defense. It was always defense as defense. So rather than throwing punches, I resorted to parrying them to show them that their offense is not effective. That is always better. If somebody loses the ability to control you, they will lose a lot of their motivation when fighting you. They will lose a lot of their aggression. They might get frustrated, but they may be convinced after enough convincing that like, oh, if my efforts are fruitless, that's what will actually stop me from continuing those efforts. Does that make sense? $100, hell yeah. I love that. I like the like rising emotes. I think they're pretty awesome. Wait, can we do a test real quick? Can you do those rising emotes and see if they display now that I've enabled chat on the screen? Does it show when you do that on stream? No, it doesn't. Okay, I have an overlay for chat, but if you were to say something in chat, the chat would pop up, but I'm actually gonna just disable that for now because I'm trying to keep things clean, but alrighty. Maybe that's a separate plugin that I could put into like the corner of my videos or whatever. So anyways, let's keep scrolling through some of my shorts. It's good background footage. I have not seen Naruto, by the way. I know you made a reference by saying Sasuke. I don't watch Naruto. I don't know that I could be convinced to watch Naruto when Demon Slayer exists. Demon Slayer is just so good. Naruto is really cringe. A lot of the time, all of the clips that I've seen of Naruto, I cringed. I'm not a fan. Have I seen Hunter x Hunter? I have. Hunter x Hunter's good. I haven't seen the whole thing. I got to the Ant Chimera arc. I didn't finish it, so that's as far as I've gone. I really liked Chrollo. He's really cool. I like Hisoka. Killua is my favorite character from that show. Absolutely. It's a swordsman. It is. That is me as the swordsman. A lot of these wazas that I'm showing right now are advanced. They are higher level wazas that beginners wouldn't try for years. My sensei, though, taught them to me because he thought that I was capable and ready, and thought that it would be good for me to learn those wazas. I have 14 comments on this. I have some fucking weird comments, man. Sometimes. Gon's rock, paper, scissors are the best. I don't like Gon very much. I understand why other people do. I'm just not a Gon fan. I think he's cool. I think he's a really good protagonist, but he is such a normal protagonist, good-hearted. You know what I mean? I'm more into the edgy guys. I just have a preference for certain types of characters. And Gon doesn't really fit that preference enough. You think that my normal speed Iaido shorts are better than my slow ones? Yes, but the slow ones are where you can actually study some of those concepts that you can actually apply to your daily life. Like, it's really cool to watch the faster stuff. Like, these faster versions are much more satisfying. There's a sword being swung really fast, and it's very cool. He's not normal at all, lol. Not sure how far I got into the Chimera Ant arc. Gon is literally a psychopath. His power up is good. Okay, I haven't seen that far into the anime though. I will have to go watch it. I need to catch up on the rest of the anime at some point. I have not finished it. My hair is fucking crazy today. I'm trying to make it look really good, but it's just kind of falling apart. You love the vacuum cleaner girl? I liked the samurai guy, but he ended up being lame in terms of personality wise. He wasn't like honorable at all, which is like the opposite of what a samurai is supposed to be. But Crollo is really cool. Crollo is he's pretty sick. Nobunaga wasn't doing anything special either. Barely any fight scenes. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have like the power up or like cool powers that I was hoping he would have, you know? There was nothing. He was kind of just lame, dishonorable. The swords the fights that he was in using the sword was very satisfying to watch because it's, you know, it's this stuff literally on screen and I love it. Yeah. It's more about like Nen powers and stuff anyway, so a sword isn't really going to fare well in that type of world, so I understand why they didn't like give that much consideration, I guess, to his character, but it's all right. Yo, what's up, Profis? Do I love my hair when it's yellow or silver? I'd rather it's silver. This is blonde. It's fine, but I'd rather it's silver. But silver washes out so fast. Like, you can't keep your hair silver unless you were to constantly put toner in it, like, all the time. Which I should probably try at some point, but I don't exactly have like all the extra funds in the world to spend on that type of stuff, you know? I try to keep my budget somewhat focused on mostly the things I need rather than the things I want. You'd rather silver as well? Yeah. Yeah, I love characters in anime with white hair. I think they're pretty cool. So, you know. Okay. So, essentially, like, here's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, these faster wazas are more interesting to watch, but they don't show, I think, some of the inner like workings that you do when you're actually practicing something. Like all of this precision and stuff is so quick. You don't have time to like really analyzing what's going on. So if we go to my slow practice shorts, like here, actually, it'll be better just to go to my shorts page and then it should just still be here. Like the one I uploaded yesterday. At least I think this was yesterday. Let's check. Description, August 6th, 2 days ago. Okay. I don't have any slow ones yet. I have to go record more next time I go to Iaido, which is tomorrow. I'll go to Iaido. I wonder if I could actually just stream at the dojo. I think I can with my phone. I have a tripod. The issue is a microphone. I don't have a mic. The audio quality would be dog shit. Like, I don't have a portable mic, and so it would just be like the phone microphone, you know? But I record these all with my phone, so I could just do a live stream at the dojo to like actually make this type of content as well. Because like me talking about it at home is great and all, but like I'm not always interested in talking. Well, I don't know about that. I would like to play games on my computer when I'm at my computer, because I don't have the opportunity to play games all the time unless I'm, home. And then when I'm at Iaido, the only thing I can really talk about at the dojo that would make any sense is Iaido, like right time, right place sort of thing. I'm super happy to talk about Iaido on stream, but it's like more fitting at the dojo. Does that make sense? Gojo, yes. Gojo is one of my favorite white-haired protagonists. Don't be mad, okay? I've been slacking. I haven't seen the entire season of season 2 of JJK yet. I will. I understand that it's like super epic and awesome. I love JJK. I've seen half of the season, so I understand like the premise, and I can tell something awesome is gonna happen. But I've been waiting because my girlfriend hasn't seen JJK season 2 at all, so I'm restarting the season with her, and we'll watch through it at our own pace. And then I also have been watching a lot of House of the Dragon, so that just finished up as well. You've seen all the spoilers in manga. Some people like to read manga. I think ideally maybe I would. I just don't have that kind of extra cash right now. If I did, then I would definitely buy more. I own some manga. I have like some side stories for Demon Slayer and the first Demon Slayer manga. And I have the Corpse Records book, which has spoilers in it, so I'm not going to open that one yet. Reliable anime watcher, that is me. Yes, I don't look at you can read on the internet? What do you mean? Is this like I can read manga on the internet is what you're saying? Yeah, true. I think that I want the physical copy. If I'm going to read manga, I want the physical copy of the book, and I want to sit down on the couch and I want to read it that way, not really on my phone. Because if it's on my phone, I'm going to take like 5 minutes to like scroll through some panels, like at breaks at work or whatever, and I'm going to feel like the story is like too exciting and I want to like keep reading or whatever. I would rather just have it be more of a passive and relaxing thing to do with a physical book. You don't read manga? Okay, so I guess what you mean is you've seen the spoilers in the manga but you haven't read it? Meaning like you just looked ahead but you didn't like actually go through it to read it? Yes, you don't read. Okay. Anyway, let's create more Iaido clips because I'm going to edit this VOD down later to be a entire video. You've only read JoJo's? Do you mean anime? You said you don't read manga. Oh, you've seen JJK spoilers on the internet. Okay, I see. So, in terms of the things that you don't see with slow, or the things that you don't really pick up on the faster practice can show a lot more in slow practice. What I mean by that is precision training. So all of the fast stuff that I do only becomes so controlled because I'm able to check all of the small movements and places as I'm going through the entire waza to make sure that I'm hitting all of the angles, to make sure that I have the right grip, to make sure that I actually have control of the sword with my left hand. The left hand is the one that holds the sheath, the saya, to make sure that when I'm doing a noto or I'm drawing the sword, that it actually has like a good pinch and control of the blade, because it's kind of like a two-handed thing. You can also almost think of it like a bow and arrow. Like the sword is the bow that you're pushing out, and then the left hand holds the blade as like an arrow, and then it like comes out and cuts. Let me bring out, yeah, Shato's a good example of this. You don't know a lot about Iaido? I shouldn't have this open. You don't know a lot about Iaido? So I guess the thing is that Iaido shows these concepts, but you can use these concepts for anything else. So like being precise and making sure that you have the right grip and the right kind of like angle with your thumb. Like when my left thumb is on the tsuba, it's not like this. It's like this. It's a straight thumb. I have a hitchhiker's thumb, like really bad. So I try to like keep it kind of in the middle to make sure that it looks straight, kind of, besides this curve. But yeah, like making sure that you have precision over your body and mind is what Iaido can introduce, but you can practice that with anything. Just pick up like any object that you have and then just pay attention to the small details of what it is that you're doing and really feeling like every inch of the entire like sequence, like even sheathing, and try to make it as smooth as possible. Like I'm just doing that but with my entire body. You can do that with a pencil, you can do that with anything. Like hold on a second. Let me give a IRL example. Hold up. Let me open Wave, link, increase my gain. Okay. Oh, not that one. I hit every single one but the right one. Besides the starting soon one, I guess. Okay. So. When it comes to like doing anything with precision, I just use the sword as a vessel in order to make that happen. So just paying attention to all the small details, like even just the drawing and like the finger placement, because there's a groove here. So I'm like pinching that groove and I'm making sure that the right distance from each part of the sword is there. I took the tsuba, the guard, off of this one, but like making sure I have the right hand position, making sure I have tension with my pinky pushing down on the blade or the handle so that when it comes out it's smooth. Like there's there's so many things going on that are kind of like smaller and aren't super obvious to the average person when you're watching stuff like this. So that's why the slow practice videos give more of an opportunity to see it. If I need to do more close-up stuff, like I've done with this, to kind of like emphasize those parts of the wazas, I guess I could. Just depends what people want, really. Anyways. It's hard. I mean, pretty much anything that you're not good at is going to be hard until you keep practicing it. But when I do it, it looks easy. That's the whole point, is it's not about how easy something is to do. This is like in front of my face. That's so funny. Hold on. Let me adjust this. We'll do this. It's not about it being easy. It's never going to be easy. It's always going to be hard. Like, that's something that people need to get over. Whenever you're doing anything, you just need to put your entire focus into that thing when you're practicing. You know what I mean? Stuff that you don't do already is not stuff that you're going to be good at doing when you do it. Most likely. Like, don't depend on talent and initial skill in order to build up. You can always build up regardless of your starting place, right? Like, you don't have to just like try something once and then gauge like, oh, am I like the chosen one? Am I awesome at this? And then like give up if not. Like, that's not how you should approach anything. You know? All of my stuff, that's because I've practiced. You don't get to the place where when you try something it looks easy until you've practiced it. I've done Iaido for almost 3 years now. Like, all of those wazas were the accumulation of practice, of mental training as well, of learning about life, philosophy, meditation, mindfulness, you know? Like, it's not something that you have day one ever. Nobody wakes up a hero. Nobody wakes up with talent. Talent, I think, is like physical capability immediately to do something. I give when I am training. What are you trying to say? I don't understand. Like, I'm pinching the blade here and then it flies out with a lot of torque because I'm putting a lot of strength into it. Like, if I were to scroll down to Ukinagashi is not quite one. Yaigaki, yeah, this will work. Like, all of those angles, like this entire thing is a million different steps. Like, even getting the sword to be horizontal here so that when I cut, it's actually through, like, very well through that parallel line with the floor, you know what I mean? Let's go to a fast one to show like my stuff. Yeah. So like even here, like I'm putting a lot of tension with my left hand on the blade. I'm not just pulling the saya back, and then it flies out with torque and speed. I'm not pushing the sword, I'm pulling the sword and then it flies. I'm pulling it and then it flies out, you know? You say, I put anything on it. And you re-say it. Can you define what the it is? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Does that make sense? Like, what's the subject matter of the sentence? I put anything on what? You don't talk about anything, don't mind. Well, if you chat, I'm gonna try to interpret what you're saying. You and your worst English. It's alright, dude. Don't worry about it. I think you should keep trying, because that's the way you learn, pretty much. Okay. I'm just gonna read this real quick for my editing self, because I might make a clip of this later. Okay. Iaido is often misunderstood as a martial art for self-defense, but that's not really its main focus. Iaido is all about the art of drawing the sword. It's a practice deeply rooted in precision, control, and mindfulness. The techniques we practice involve smoothly drawing the sword from its scabbard, executing a precise cut, and then returning the sword to its scabbard. So that's ChatGPT's answer for the fact that Iaido is misunderstood. I think that Iaido physically is about that stuff, but philosophically it's about so much more, right? So that's just like the physical application. Let's keep reading. While it does include martial elements, the core of Iaido is about personal development. It's about discipline, mental focus, and perfecting the movements through repetition. We practice to improve ourselves, not necessarily to engage in combat or defend ourselves against an attacker. But improve ourselves how? I think that's the thing that I want to like talk about. Yeah, I understand that ChatGPT is being very objective. That's the only thing it can do. I mean, it can try to like give from answers that other people have had subjective experiences about. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to give my subjective, personal, like, thoughts and stuff. So, all right, we'll just finish it out. So, in essence, Iaido is a way to connect with tradition, refine our skills, and cultivate a calm and focused mind. It's a journey of self-improvement and mastery rather than a means of self-defense. Yes, objectively, that is what it is. Subjectively, Iaido is about giving the ability to be mindful, not just in Iaido, but outside of it. So the quality of the experience for me is very... It's hard to put into words. It's something I need to get better at, is like figuring out how to make my thoughts into words. It's very like fulfilling when you can empty your mind of everything else and just focus on the one thing. Keep it simple, but increase the depth of mastery of that thing. That feeling is so cleansing. It feels like a heightened state. It feels like enlightenment is a word that is used often. You going to bed? Okay. I'll see you, bro. Thanks for stopping in. Like, ChatGPT definitely hits the points of the objective matter. I think that what people don't talk about enough is like people look at swords and they think of them and they're like, okay, it's a weapon, it's a blade, it's sharp. So you're learning how to fight with this weapon, technically. You're learning how to whatever. You're learning how to cut. You're learning how to manipulate your body and whatever. I think there's a difference between learning how to be good at a physical thing versus I'm training to fight someone. I'm training to kill someone. I'm not a soldier. I'm not going off to war. I'm not defending my family's life with the sword because another guy with a sword is going to come into my house and try to kill everyone for reasons of political gain or whatever, like the samurai had to deal with, right? Like, there's a huge difference between who I am, what time and place I live, and the culture surrounding that. What we live in the modern day is just taking what the samurai were doing on a day-to-day basis, taking the positive aspects that can affect our modern lives and putting them into action to make us healthier people, to make us more whole, more fulfilled. And that part of being a swordsman is what I want in my life. That's the type of effect that I want Iaido to have on me. What I don't want is to come out of the dojo thinking, now I'm just waiting for people to come fight me so I can show them how I could kill them. Like, there's nothing, I can't even like express it in a way that makes any logical sense because it doesn't. Like, people who think like that are psychopaths. Psychopaths probably should not be practicing martial arts until they become enlightened in the idea that it's not about at all. All right, I'll see you, Eamon. It's not about actually fighting someone. If you want to learn like Kenjutsu or Kendo and you're doing like more of a sport, like you're going for points like fencing and stuff like that, then you'd care a little bit more about like, okay, what are techniques that I can use against you? But it's not about trying to kill someone. Like, that's the problem. Self-defense is its own thing entirely. Thinking of self-defense, the first thing that you have to do is ask yourself, what is your intention? What is your attitude? And what are your options? For me, I should be good enough with my fists alone, with my physical prowess and speed, to be able to dodge, redirect, and defend myself from an oncoming attack. That's my answer. In my house, I probably should have a gun to defend myself because guns exist, so I need a equal playing field. Does that make sense? Somebody comes into my house with a gun. If I don't have a gun, I'm just at a disadvantage. That's just the logical conclusion. The sword is not my self-defense weapon. What could be my self-defense weapon is the bokken, because it's a wooden stick. The one I've been practicing with on stream is the plastic one. So let me go grab my wooden one to show that that would be a way better means. Just like a staff, like I was saying earlier. You're hot. Can you hear me? You're hot. I love you. So this is a bokken that's made out of purple heart. This is a bokken made of purple heart. Using this to block people's arms would be a way that I can protect my physical body, because if this gets damaged, that's not a physical part of me as well. And it's a stick that I could use with two hands to brace, to be able to like brace and protect myself. But that aside, like, no one in their right mind practices Iaido to be able to learn how to kill someone with a sword so that they could ever tangibly use it in the real world. That is the point. There is no one who should be doing that. It doesn't make sense. What does make sense is, oh, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. It's fun. That's one of my main reasons. It's enjoyable. Number two, it's fulfilling. It gives purpose. It keeps me healthy. It increases not just the health of my body, but my mind. It makes me feel like I can continually improve. Self-improvement is a huge part of what I want in life. Iaido is amazing. I wish that more people could apply these principles to their daily lives. I wish that the concepts and philosophy and lifestyle and the health benefits of what practicing Iaido is like is something that everyone should have in their life, even if it's not Iaido. That is the vessel, that is the activity that someone would engage in to get those benefits. I think that stretching and just being mindful, meditating while stretching, Tai Chi, other martial arts that are slow. Aikido is pretty good. I'm just personally not super interested in Aikido. It has that philosophy of like more practical self-defense without any like offense. You learn how to pin and manipulate movement. You learn how to defend yourself, make yourself fluid like water to avoid and evade. That's actually much more helpful. Nobody does this to be like, yeah, I could defend myself, right? It's just not a thing. And that's part of what I think makes Iaido beautiful is it is just a performative art. It's performative. I wish I had done that cut by the way. That vertical cut. These two were good, but I bounced. The sword went down and back up a little bit at the bottom. That's not what I'm going for. So I need to practice that one more slowly. That was pretty okay. Could have had a better scoot for that front cut though. Those are more advanced because there's many more moves in the same Waza because you're fighting multiple people. I think that, like, I got some advice. I shared the fact that I had made my long form video explaining what Iaido is. I shared this to Reddit, and somebody that I met at a seminar reached out and gave me some good advice. And it's that those mindful things don't come off very well. The intentionality or the attitude that I do when I'm recording my wazas doesn't represent what it is that I'm saying very well. That's something that I need to improve on, for sure. Like, very deadpan. I'm very serious and straight. There's not a lot of attitude or soul behind it. But that's just kind of part of my personality, you know? I think that I'm also not envisioning the enemies well enough. I think I want the pacing to be a little bit more in line with if they were actual people that I was fighting. And so I'll need to create multiple different versions of these wazas depending on the mentality going into it. That is something that I am working on, for sure. I think that when performing, it is useful to envision targets for location purposes, kind of like volumetrically. Volumetric, is that the right word? Proprioceptively is more what I mean. I think my pacing, like, let's look at this one for an example. Like, when I watch this, the kind of feedback I would give myself on this, like, this is my favorite waza. So let's give myself some feedback. That stab didn't come out soon enough. This Waza should be more martial. I'm also not looking at the person. I'm looking generally vaguely in the direction. I'm not looking at them. That is not what I want. My Sayabiki should also be bigger. My Saya should be even further behind me than it is. There was a decent little pause there for snappiness, but then I started moving the moment the pause ended, which is okay. The reason why I moved wasn't apparent in this moment. I think after I hit here, my head needs to turn to look at my next target before I move the sword, so it's more obvious to a viewer, oh, there's an enemy that way. Because I just gradually turn as I'm doing the thing, and that's not going to work in terms of like doing something. There is a concept in martial arts and in Iaido specifically that telegraphing what you're doing is not a good idea. You should be executing something without telling your opponent as long as possible before it actually happens. That way you can keep a surprise. But it's super obvious what I'm doing here. That's an undercut. And I think something that I can improve with this aspect is this Kesa cut down to sweep shouldn't have a pause here. If I can come down and back up, it's essentially a better slash for this dude, because that's attacking the same person. I think that because it's the same person, it can be snappier, realizing maybe like he blocked my first cut. That's why I need a second cut, so I have to keep going. But something that my sensei and I talk about a lot is, are you in control enough to be able to stop yourself? Because if you did enough and you don't need that second cut, or they're giving up, or at least have the mentality to give them the opportunity to change their mind. And that's something that I've been trying to incorporate with my wazas by having pauses. So when I'm down here, the reason why I pause is like, you want to do this? Aggravate, pull out your sword, get ready, do something. Are we still fighting? Kind of thing. And then a slash comes through. But that cut was super slow. That's like how I practice it. I need to really just learn how to do that cut quickly to be able to have that snappiness. Because I think ideally with this waza, it's shing shing. That's how quickly it should be. I'm so behind. Anyways, this here, pretty okay. I don't know that there's much. This movement of turning 180 degrees, I've made sure that this happens. My face looking the right direction, straight at the guy. I've made sure that for this move has been a thing, so that cut makes more sense, and then the eyes dropping as the cut comes down. That's good. Some people in some styles have told me like, hey, don't do that. And it's like, well, what I was told from certain people is that your eyes do drop, especially for the final cut, for the final person. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It just means that's the way I was told directly by people that I've learned under. So that's what I'll do. I just have like a order of operations, of priorities, that I will give more weight to some people's voices than others, right? some rando tells me something, I don't know who they are, we don't practice the same style even, I'm not going to do it that way, right? That wasn't bad. Did it have... In this Waza, did it have what the other one didn't? What I mean by, like, the... Something I would change, but isn't necessarily, like, right, is... When I just did that, the whack away, because they grabbed my sword, this movement, I'm also leaning really hard. I need to be standing up straighter. I should be looking back towards the guy on the straw, no? Like, then I turn around to look? That doesn't seem very martial or safe. If you know that the next person you're going to fight is this guy, the only reason why I see that it's okay not to is because there's someone in front of you, and so you're telling them to back up because you're pulling your sword out, and because you killed this guy behind you with this strike and that strike to make sure you finish them off because you needed it. You know that this guy's drawing his sword, so you slice here and then here. So because it's like two people, one right in front of you, one right behind you, it's a confrontation. So watching straight ahead at the guy in front of you to make sure that he doesn't need to be taken care of before this dude. Yeah. Anyway. I have a lot to improve on with my Yido. It's definitely not perfect. Also, the attempts that I've done, that I've uploaded, are definitely not my best. I've done much, much better. I've had better days. So hopefully going forward, especially with these slow practice days, like, I like to think of my Yido practice kind of like seasons or arcs. People who watch anime can relate to this. You just have like a month or 2 or 3 of time where you're focusing in on a few specific things, ironing them out, learning them, mastering them. And then as they become super solid and you hit more plateaus with them, then you shift your focus to something else. More or less speed, you change stuff up, you focus on other things. And then that's another arc for another 2 to 3 months or however long, even if it's a week. Like, it just, there's different segments of time where you're just focused on certain things. So with my slow practice, I'm in an arc now where I'm really making sure I'm refining all of the precision, just making sure it's all there, just making that base super solid. It's already pretty good. But you always need to go back to the basics, to go slow again, to make sure that you keep any of the skill and practice that you obtain. Because I noticed that, like, when I'm doing these fast ones, it looks pretty good, but it's not as precise as I'd like it to be in some places, even if it's minute, even if it's harder to tell. But like the angle of that cut was so flat, it was so good. And then this block of raising the sword all the way up horizontal, that's new, so I've had to implement that now. 'Cause we used to do it more angled, but now we do it more horizontal, and then snap it back into place and cut. So that's different. The way I do my front cuts, I've adjusted over time as I've pushed forward more on the right hand or on the left hand at different times. The way I torque it when I cut, when I torque it, am I coming up like this or am I coming down like this? Like, slow practice is when you can do revisions of your stuff. being able to watch me do these wazas is super helpful. Like, this reminds me a lot of something called VOD reviewing in gaming, where you play a game and then you watch the game over again. You give yourself critiques, you give yourself advice, you give yourself a list of mistakes that you made, how to avoid making them in the future, possible improvements, but also a list of your qualities, your strengths, and say, hey, I was good at this. That's something I should keep. How can I keep it? How do I make sure I don't lose that? How do I make sure that I can even strengthen that and get even better at that over time? Same thing. It's just VOD reviewing my EIDO. So that's what I'm doing right now. I love Shato. Shato is one of my favorite wazas. It's very cool. Yeah, I could watch Shato all day. It's so pretty. This angle needs to be a little higher. My wrist, it needs to be one fist length higher than this. The sword needs to be, the tip needs to be down more, so it's more horizontal. This is a very aggressive to the temple. It's not really a block. It looks more of an offensive move. It needs to be more of a defensive move. The angle of that cut was pretty okay. It could have been a little better. Also, the way that I'm leaning on one hip is not great. I need to just let my back heel come down rather than skewing my weight. So I'll work on that. The Noto is really good. It's not the best angle in the world to watch the Noto. So let's go ahead and check Junto Sono Ni real quick. Again, very good cut. Stepping forward with the other foot. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as Junto Sono Ichi. Let's look at Zonto Tsuto for a second. Nice. Little shaky with the sword, but that's mainly because I'm going slowly. So maybe I just need to be more loose, less tense at that point, to try to make the sword just a still object rather than a wavy, shaky object in that moment. I really like my Nukiuchi. I think it's pretty good. Sometimes the shorts glitch when you scroll too quickly. That block was really good. My left hand probably needed to come up a little sooner. Yeah. So yeah, if you liked this segment of me talking about EIDO, come check me out on my streams. Ask me questions. I'm gonna play video games and stuff too, but I'm always happy to talk about whatever. And go check out my shorts. If you like watching EIDO, then you'll love my shorts. And you get to see this lovely girl from time to time, and she loves playing games too, so.
Maybe we'll play some Baba's You later.
True. Come check out the stream.